What's going on, traders? How we doing out there? Let's get back to the markets. You know where you're at. Start swing trade, of course. This is where we get into the market. We talk about my swing trading action and take a look at the biggest gainers, the sectors in the industries that are moving today. So let's take a look at what's going on right now underneath the hood. Let's take a look at the SPY. You guys can see the SPY getting up there to 448. I think our high right now is right around here. Actually, it's in the morning, 448.77. We couldn't get past that. We struggled in the 448.70 just recently. We'll see if this can continue to lift. Of course, nice little kind of red to green day. And it wasn't a bad day for me. I'm able to get a green day off of day trading Qualcomm and DraftKings. I still have a position in DraftKings. I just closed Qualcomm there before we started. That was a day trade position, so I didn't want to keep focused on that. And then all of a sudden get stopped out of DK&G, stopped out of Qualcomm. So I took some green there. I am in DraftKings pretty big. I'm doing a little bit more of a swing trade approach here, looking for this to be kind of more of a buy the rumor, sell the news event. So I'm looking to see if we get more of the selling the news tonight and we start to get some decreases overnight, especially in DraftKings. Earlier today was down to 31.55s. I was able to take some profits in this. So I already took some profits. I'm just looking for a bigger win here on some downside action with DraftKings. I, of course, still have AAL on the swing trade side of things and going to look to see if this can continue to hold. NCLH gets stopped out today for a very, very small loss. But as you can see, it's actually climbing back already. And I think I might have just gotten just too tight with this. Didn't want to see this get back down to like 1605s today. Got out around that level. Now it's starting to come back. 1673s. I'm going to keep a watch on this because I think this could get going again. And maybe it was just a little bit too quick today, but I can always get back in the name. I did a very, very small stop out now. We'll look to get back into the name NCLH. We'll see if we can continue to lift. Qs overall getting a little bit of a bounce today. Some tech names bouncing back. Apple was one that got some of the bounce back. It wasn't the biggest bounce back. In the middle of the day, we did get Disney's news. That definitely gave a little bit of a spike and then a cut down and then a recovery there towards the 8260s. We'll see what happens there on Disney. There was a lot of movement. Let's get to the sectors, the industries. We could talk about my trades, but let's look at underneath the hood. That's really what we need to be focused on is where the stocks are moving and where the puck is going to, not where it is today. Parker, you don't need to spam, my friend. Oh man, should I even give him a chance to get out of the timeout? Well, I'll get him in a timeout just because he took over the stream. Sorry about that, man, but you can't throw up high 30 times and me not thinking that you're high on something else, but we won't get into that action. Let's keep taking a look at what else is going on in the market today. We can take a look at the leading sector to the upside. That was communication services. So if we take a look at that, of course, we're talking charters in here. Of course, they kind of got a little pop on their Disney news. That gave them a little bit of a lift. That's up 2.48%. You also got T-Mobile getting a little bit of a lift as of recent, getting a nice little push back there towards the 140. Will this start to climb? You got AT&T, Verizon getting a little bit of a bounce. Not really names that I'm looking to expect a huge move, but it did get a little push up today. When we look at healthcare, that's a big little turnaround after looking like it was starting to come down pretty fast. Now we're starting to see some of these names staying strong. Medical devices, let's keep an eye out on some of those reversals there. Abbott Labs coming back down towards the support around 168. You can just put this down to 100 if you just want to make it nice and clean here. We'll see if this can start bouncing back towards 105. MDT having a decent day. SYK, though, this is a big push here on Stryker Corp. So definitely one to keep an eye out. Now that you're getting this big expansion move here, I'd be looking for pullback opportunities, right? Can we pull back here below 300? Seems to make sense. Big move up today in SYK. Let's see if it can come back, right? Maybe 298s on pullback. Seems interesting for me. Drug manufacturers and specialties not having a bad day today. The major names also not having a bad day. Lilly continuing the lead, right? Johnson and Johnson with a nice little push today. Amgen going higher. So Amgen has been moving into the drug and the manufacturers, the bigger names for me, as this index has been expanding and we got some extra additions now. This was trading in the biotechs here. Now it's switched over. So I'm keeping an eye on names also in biotech as of late. They look pretty strong. NVO getting a nice little lift today. Regeneron, BRTX, Moderna, not the biggest move, right? SGen, this one looking pretty decent on the biotechs as this hasn't come back into the gap zone and holding there. We'll see what happens to these names. IBB is another way you can maybe be playing this as it bounces off 127. Can it get back to 129 and start pushing towards the 130? Just stocks that we can keep in mind. Defensive names not having a bad day today. Let's take a look what was doing well there. Confectioners doing well. Of course, we got Halloween coming up, right? Somebody got to be selling some candy somewhere out there. We'll see what happens. Mondelez getting a little bit of a pushback here. 71 42s, trying to get back there to the 72 spot. Hershey's getting a little bit of a bounce after recent takedown. And I remember there was a short report, I think, out on Hershey's. And then this thing just got taken down and keeps falling. This fell off pretty fast there after that short report. Mondelez, of course, the leader in this. Let's see if it can start working its way back and getting a little push. Brewers not doing too bad there. Budweiser getting a little push back. Is this the Bud low or will it crack right back down? Things to keep in mind, right? Budweiser has been declining since pretty much 2016 or 2017. That's when the high was for Bud. And it's been on a sideways trend now since pretty much 2021. Hasn't gone anywhere. It did come back some in 23, of course. It went up there to the 66. Will this push back? I don't know, but I'll tell you one thing. I know there's a lot of people betting against Bud, but it does look like it is trying to come back. Can Tap make a move back there towards 68, 69, and 70? Of course, a lot of people are saying that they're switching off of Bud and going to Tap. So who knows? Maybe this can get the lift there to 68. We'll see what happens. All right, Jenny. Yeah, you guys saw that call out. Yeah, you guys. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened there with Parker. He went a little crazy on the highs, but you know how it is. Let's keep going after a team self-inflicted liver punch. Let's get after the action. Did an ABC move. Tesla printing. Seeking going with the ABC move. I like the call out too. Let's take a look at Tesla. All right, Tesla looking pretty decent up there to 273.15s. And this had good news, right? Why do I think Tesla's moving? Is it because of the upgrade with Morgan Stanley? Yes, that might have affected it in the pre-market. But why is it climbing higher? I think it's climbing higher because it expects a UAW strike. Joel mentioned it this morning, and the more I think about it, the more I think he could be right also on that outlook that Tesla could actually rise if there is for a potential strike in Ford, GM, and Stellantis. So is that why we're seeing Tesla rise today? That's an interesting outlook. It could be, of course, the upgrade, but look at Ford down today. Look at GM down today. What about STLA? Actually up today. This is interesting to me, right? I don't know what's going to happen here with the UAW. It's supposed to come through on the 14th. So what I would say is really look out for on, let's say, the next 2 days to see if we see continued downside action or for some reason, some kind of sweep in these auto manufacturers. We'll see what happens there. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is going on. It could be his cat. Yeah, my cat always taking over, man. Let's keep going. Let's see what else is going on. Affirm going to 25 and 26. Let's take a look at Affirm. Affirm is pushing here to 23.83s, now getting up there. Next spot for me I have is 24.84s, but this had made a nice little push up. and hasn't slowed down. One of the things that is important here is I thought this was even going to come back down, and no, it doesn't. It got another lift today. Now I'd want to see it start holding resistance and support tries. So any pullbacks towards 21 or 22.50s, hold that and get to the next level. And like you mentioned, it could be making its way to the next level up. Next level is a little bit of a gap fill towards 26. So that's the first levels I would be looking at. And look at Jenny. 25, 26, it doesn't look too bad. And I like how you're increasing your stop loss, right? Just trailing it behind the action, right? Trying to let the stock continue to run. Of course, what I would say in this situation, and this is just my outlook, Jenny, is that always also understand what's like maybe a max target, right? Because if we're going to trail and trail and trail, we also want to trail to a certain point where it gets to a profit where we can just take that and run, right? On the other side. I'm okay with you just trailing a stop loss because at the end of the day, that's what I do also, right? When I get into certain positions and I'm deep into the green, I'm going to make sure I take green no matter what. So that's why increasing stop loss is not a bad thing, right? But we also want to have that max profit outlook so that if it gets to that point, we just take that money and we just say, oh, this is a hell of a trade. Can't be mad about taking money, right? Money, money, money. That's what we're in for, anyways, right? All we're looking for is a little bit of winning action. And next thing you know, it's a party. It's a party. It's a party. Hey. So that's what we're looking to get, of course, when we're jumping onto swing trades and riding the trend. One way that we could continue riding this trend, right? What are the things that we can be using? Well, one thing that I like to use is kind of the 9 EMA. So you can see here how the 9 EMA on the daily never went below the recent price action. It's been all what? All been on this upside of the price action, right? So you can see the 9 EMA, that's that light blue line. As long as it can continue the trend and continue holding and not cutting back below the 9 EMA line, this looks great. And so we'll see what happens if it does pull back there, but it doesn't look too bad right now as it continues to climb. And what would you like to watch? You'd like to watch stocks like ARKK, some growth names continuing to lift. Maybe Upstart gets another spike up and continues to go higher. Carvana, hold on to that 47, take out the 55. You want to see growth names continuing to push. We'll see what happens there in the firm. All right, we'll keep going. Of course, you guys can always throw up some stocks. If you guys see anything else mentioned in the chat or any stock you guys want to talk about, throw it up there. We got a lot more to talk about. Let's keep going, team. All right, what else is being mentioned? Samsung Wallet adopting SoFi. SoFi has been on our radar to watch, right? Now we're already getting that lift here. It looks like it wants to get through 9 and then continue. I was talking about this on Friday, that this looks interesting for me. Eventually, you're going to hear mentions, of course, that the student loans are coming back, and that's at the end of the month. But do we come after it now? A little part of me is thinking that we can come after it now, look for pullbacks to around 850 to start holding, and then looking for a drive back to 10 and 11 from here does not look too bad. This resistance to me stands out 10. And then from there, you get 11. And from 11, maybe we can get back here towards this 1170 high. This does look a little bit like a head and shoulders, but it could make a move to 10 and then make that right shoulder. We could sell half and look to see if it can keep going. This is not a bad outlook for the swing trade. You know what? I'm willing to take a shot here on SoFi. I got to continue to watch to see if it can get past to 9, but I'm going to watch this. And if it can get back there towards 9, I'll take a shot. Right now, I'm going to leave it alone tonight just because I don't know what's going to happen a little bit later in the week. We do get CPI. Consumer price index, of course, is going to be coming in. And then, of course, we'll also get a producer price index reading. So I'm not sure how those will come in. So with that being said, I'm not going to jump the gun on Wednesdays and Thursdays economic readings, but it's something to keep an eye out for on that SoFi. All right, Qualcomm, definitely interesting news with the Apple today. I was riding it today. I was around like 109.80s. And just as it recently was up here towards like kind of 110.60s, I said, you know what? I'm calling the profits and getting out of here. I'm not going to turn this into a swing trade on the day trade account. So I'm going to go ahead and just take the profits. The one that I'm still in, even in the day trading account, is this DKNG. And why? Because I feel like it could really give up overnight and start to come back down and maybe start filling some of this back right back towards, let's say, 30.50s and $30. So hey, this is a little bit of a swing here. We'll see what happens. If it can hold like 32.10s, I'll still be in this. I already set a stop like towards like 32.20s here. But if it just wants to break right back down, I'll hold it overnight and see if I can make a big win in the trade the pool account. We'll see what happens on that one. Oracle reports after the close. You're right, Marty, keeping us on track. Let's go ahead. Let's talk a little bit about Oracle. Oracle recently has already been pushing. And so this is what I mean sometimes that stocks can run into their earnings. Will this continue to lift off? Yeah, if it has good, like let's say really great earnings, really great AI, it can keep pushing. I'd be looking for pullbacks and maybe jump on the party. So if this could pull back here towards, let's say, maybe this gap spot, 119.40s, slightly below that, coming into the kind of the 117s or the 118 range, that's kind of the buy area for me on pullbacks, somewhere in between this 120 and 118. But if it doesn't come back there, I can't be buying all the way up here, and it could just break out above the highs. So you do got the daily resistance here towards like 127.50s. Let's see if we can get back there towards 128 off of the earnings report and then start to take a new high on Oracle. Yeah, new high. And this is actually pushing pretty strong. And I talked about how the customer management companies like this are going to actually benefit from AI. I really do think so. That's why I've been watching Salesforce. And remember how this one came back down. Here was in the 205s for a certain amount of time. Now look how this is retraced back up. This could keep going, especially off of this report tonight. So we'll see what happens in CRM and some of the Oracle stock. Oracle stock software, infrastructure, software companies have been doing pretty well. Let's keep an eye on it. All right, let's keep going, team. We could take a look at what else is making a move on the day. Let's take a look here at energy. Energy taking a huge pullback, even though it was looking pretty strong this morning. Let's take a look at WTI to see what happened there. And like I talk about it all the time, with oil, it can come back and forth, back and forth. This morning, we spiked to 88 and we move right back down. So let's see what happens in oil. Can it get back into the 90 handle? If it gets in the 90 handle, yes, it can come back. But right now, in the 80s, this isn't looking good to at least. It needs to get back through the 88 to continue to the upside. If it goes back to 82, I could see these oil stocks really starting to break. And today, what do you see? Chevron, big move right back down. XOM, big move right back down. XLE got up there towards the resistance, 92.83s, both times getting there to 92.71. Today, 93 and right back down. So we could be playing a little bit of chop in the oil game. All right, another area that I saw weak today, industrials, and this is a lot to do with some of the bigger stocks that are dragging it down. RTX continuing down today, out the gates, and really getting hit from 80s all the way down there towards like 76.50s. Big hit there, guys. Are we finally going to start seeing this GE break? Nope. Can't break GE, guys. Look at this chart, guys. It just doesn't want to stop. At some point, GE is literally going to be the best stock of the year. I don't care what anyone says. This stock is up 71%, and it's not a small name. It's still a $121 billion company. Man, it's impressive, that run from GE this year. Deere coming right back below 399, giving me an attempt for 400. Now the question is, do I want to come after it? Well, I've been seeing the industrials start slowing down, and that's when I start getting a little bit careful here. I need to wait for maybe those inflation numbers, get us back on the value names, because if we don't, this XLI could be breaking down from here and we could see a lower move. So I'm keeping an eye on that. I like Caterpillar, Picard pulling back. This is one that I've been trying to maybe ride on the next wave. Picard loves to kind of go sideways for a while and then take that next step up. This doesn't look too bad there on the weekly as it starts to grind higher. If we could get a good day for deer, a good day for cat, then those can come back, right? So I'll see what happens on cat and deer to see if they lead Pakar. And of course, that's one of the not the leading names, but it just works its way. This is a leader laggard style trade. We'll see what happens there. All right, let's keep going. CVS, got any news? I'll take a look, Val. Let me see if I got anything on the Benzinga Pro here for CVS. CVS is up 4% there. Let's see what news was kicking today. And it looks like it was gaining on Wolf Research on a 4-star noting. So it looks like it ranked it as a 4-star. It was starting to get a nice lift. And this came in around 250. So let's go to CVS here and see the pop. Yeah, you could see it right around here, 240s, 250s. We got a nice little mention there. It's from CVS about Wolf's Research getting in a nice little lift. We'll see if this can really push it back. This might help your healthcare planned names. So you can see here, some of these stocks are doing well today. Clove got a little bit of a pushback. Cigna Group trying to close that group back. But these healthcare plans haven't been the strongest move as of late. So will Humana make a move back up? Will UNH make a move back up? We'll see what happens. CVS, though, getting a little push today. All right, can I check MU? Of course I can check MU. Wally, that's what I'm here for, man. Let's take a look. Micron's been hot as of late. The way that I compare this stock is it's not as hot as it, but I compare this stock with another hot stock in tech right now, which is Intel. See how these charts are very similar. So I'll even put it on a 3-chart outlook. Let's do Micron on the right-hand side, and then we're going to do Intel on the middle here. And then I'll go ahead and I'll turn it. I'll zoom back a little bit so you guys can see the outlook. So let's do this on a 2-chart outlook. Let's pull the indicators down so we don't get distracted by that. And look at the pullback on this. So if you guys see here on Intel, what did we get? We got a couple of attempts to resistance, then broke through it recently at that 37 and starting to climb here towards the 39s. What do we get here? Well, let's take a look here. So we see these 3 high areas where we've gone through before. You can see that. Will we go ahead and just push through here? Well, it looks like we got here towards the high and then pulled back, setting up for another move. Can we push back through these levels, or will we fade back towards the 64? Doesn't look too bad, but as you guys see from Intel there, it doesn't look too bad there also. So we'll look to see if these can kind of continue going. Semiconductors in a very similar area. And what I would say is take a look also at Marvell. These trade very similar. Let's see if Marvell can come back for the 64 and push to the upside. But this one had a big gap, right? So that's what's helping this one a little bit stay up there. But Micron, can it get to 72? Doesn't look too bad there. Just needs to hold kind of the pullbacks here to 69 and take that next step. All right, let's keep going, team. Let's take a look at what else is down today. We talked about industrials. We talked about technology. Those types of stocks not doing the best. Defensive stocks getting a bounce today. How are those department stores doing here and discount stores? Let's take a look here. As, of course, we see BIG get a nice little lift today. Ollie continuing. Ollie seems like a best of breed, at least here in the discount stores. We've talked about how Dollar General has been struggling and Dollar Tree also been struggling. Look at this. Nice little lift there for Ollie as it keeps pushing. Walmart, what's going on with Walmart? Continuing to push to the upside here. DG, still red. Dollar Tree, still red. Target, still red. Not companies that I want to touch right now. Costco back up there to 559. This could make a nice little lift. We'll see if BJ wants to start getting going. Of course, it never came back down towards where I was buying it from. So I'm looking for a move maybe back to 70 on this one. This doesn't look too bad. Can it get there back to 70? It could get moving. We'll keep an eye on it. I'll put a little bit of a trend line indicator there for me. 67.35s won't be looking too bad there in BJ. All right, let's get back to the market overall. It's 4 o'clock there. We're closing up, team. Let's take a look here. SPY holding up there to the 448. Apple not doing too bad. How was my DraftKings? Looked like it stopped there. going up off the 32s. I'm taking a bigger shot in the trade the pull and more of a swing trade attempt. If you want to find out how things end up for me on DraftKings, of course, find out tomorrow on live trading. We start every day at 9:05. You guys don't want to miss that. If you guys want to look at some live trading and for some reason you haven't seen that show, hit the thumbs up. That's at 9:05 right here, only on Benzinga, of course. Hope you guys enjoyed today's show. We looked into the outlook. We could see today that technology was actually still in the red, but some names driving the boat forward. Can we continue to see those drive forward? Microsoft, really strong name there. We'll keep a watch on some of the leaders and how those can continue to run. Apple's event tomorrow. Will Apple get a run into the event? I think it might even run overnight, and that's the harder way to play it. Today, bouncing off the 77.50s. So we'll see what happens if that gets to the next level, 180s. Will the iPhone get it back and close this gap towards 182, or will we see a takedown on Apple? We'll see what happens. Microsoft leading the way back here. Nice little day today as they got back to 338. One of the strongest stocks in the market. I talked about this today. If Microsoft can continue strong, we could see these names continue strong all day. Amazon, big lift there. Talked about the pullback opportunity right out the gates. It was a 139.50 VWAP bounce that was really nice here at 9:45. I talked about that where? On live trading, of course. So don't miss that show. It's a great show. Shows you guys exactly what I was looking for in the live trading. And I like how you guys get kind of that real perspective of me taking a look at things at 9, at 10, 11, and then coming here at 3:30 and seeing if that perspective has changed, of course. I'll see you guys back in the morning on pre-market prep. Hit the like button and of course subscribe if you haven't subscribed before. Got to get some more subscribers. I want to see some people hit that right now. Let's go. There it is. Hit the like. I'll see you guys next time right here, of course, on Start Swing Trade.